Greetings, all you Jackson Jennets, and welcome to your daily dose of donkey with Ginger. It's your boy, the Viking Donkey, coming to you with the Donk Nation Power Index and Donk Nation Power Rankings this week, as I made sure to have Laskers and Gingy turn in their top 10, turn in their homework. So, guess what? We're in for a surprise because this is the first week we get a full on rankings. Thank goodness I remembered to do stuff. But let's start with the power index, and let's start by talking about the biggest movers this week. Was the Seattle Seahawks going up 9 slots, or the New England Patriots dropping down 9 slots? I mean, lots of confusion going on in those two areas, to say the least, I guess is how we will phrase it. Let's start out at the bottom. Number 32, Houston Texans just released Grugier Hill, their leading tackler from last year. Not much to be said about this team. Nothing moving forward. Playing for a draft pick, it seems like. Right above them, you got Detroit, who had one of the best offenses in the league and then managed to put up, I think, 3 or 6 points this week. Super impressive there. Things aren't looking very uphill as Amon St. Brown had a concussion and hurt himself again. At number 30, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not much to say here. The offense under Matt Canada doesn't score points. When the defense doesn't create turnovers, the team doesn't score points. That's been the way the last 2 years. And no TJ Watt. Big problem for the Steelers. At 29, we got your Carolina Panthers coming in. Changes on the horizon. Is PJ Walker the new quarterback there? He looked pretty good this week in a win against Tampa Bay. Good on them. At 28, we got the Cleveland Browns. Sounds like they might be trying to trade Kareem Hunt. They lose another close game. A lot of look is getting forced at Williams, the defensive coordinator, as they're not performing. At number 27, you got the New Orleans Saints. And what can you say about a team that's decided to stick with Andy Dalton, who single-handedly threw a game away by 2 pick sixes to end the half in the final 3 minutes? Quite impressive, Andy. Something I've never seen before. At 26, you got a top 10 defense in Denver. They were only a quarterback away. They trade for a quarterback in Russell Wilson, and the offense gets worse. Whoo! Not much to say there. Washington, they're moving up to number 25 as Taylor Heineke experiment is back on, and he's winning football games again. You know the Commander teams like to see it. At 26, you got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, a young team in a learning process coming off a tough loss. See what they can do this week in London. At 23, we got Arizona finally winning a game. Is Kyler Murray coming around with DeAndre Hopkins being healthy? Maybe it's a team to look out for on the up and up. At number 22, we got the Vegas Raiders. They're moving up after an explosive offensive performance to get themselves a win. Josh Jacobs looking legit in that game. See if that can continue. At 23, at 21, going the wrong way here, you have the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers just not getting the job done. They're in the market for a trade. See if something happens, because they need to get it going. I believe they're the team that plays Jacksonville in London this week. See if the going overseas helps them. At number 20, you got the Atlanta Falcons. Looking pretty smart for trading away Matt Ryan as the team's there. And honestly, they're in the hunt of it in the NFC South, as no team wants to take a chance at it. Mariota not playing great. They still are forcing together wins. I mean, expected more out of Kyle Pitts, but haven't seen it yet. New England with a huge drop down to 19. Can we say Zappe is not the answer? As it looks, the more tape people get, the more they find his weaknesses. A couple turnovers after replacing the benched Mac Jones, but now Mac Jones back in to be the starter. Indianapolis, they're at 18. Got their butts kind of handed to them by Tennessee in a 19-10 game, but more importantly, they decide they are going to start Sam Ehlinger over Matt Ryan, mainly because they don't want to pay Matt Ryan $19 million in bonus money the way he's playing, and I can't say I blame him. We got Chicago moving up to number 17. I know that Justin Fields doesn't have a great passer rating, but look at those rushing stats. That's all you need to know about Chicago. Tampa Bay comes in at 16, mostly buoyed by the fact that they still have a great top 5 defense in terms of scoring. But what can you say about the rest of it? That team's struggling. Tom Brady's struggling. Only 3 points against Carolina. Something needs to change quick for them on Thursday. You have the Rams coming in at 15. They moved up because their record in terms of comparison to other teams improved by the fact that they were on a bye week. So That's all you need to know about that situation. San Francisco, you saw them drop down. They come in at 14 this week. Need to really shill up. A lot of people had a lot of expectations to them, and then they go out and just lay an egg against the Chiefs. I mean, best defense in the league, my butt, giving up 44 points there. Come on now. You have the Chargers coming in at 13. They drop a little bit, but still the same team we thought they were, although their defense is really weak this year. They're going to need a lot out of Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler moving forward. Number 12, we got the Dolphins on the way up. Really curious to see where this team would have been if Tua played all year. Tua beats the Steelers, hurts a little bit, but it was part of a weird second half where just 0 points were scored the whole second half. Maybe weather did play a factor in that Steeler game. Seattle, the huge movers, coming up to number 11. What can you say but Geno Smith leading a top 5 offense. Seattle doing it not really with defense either, as they're 28th in terms of points allowed, but that running game is legit there, and they're scoring points, so good for you, Geno and Kenneth Walker III. The Tennessee Titans cracked the top 10 this week with another big win over Indy, and maybe they're going to win that division just because no one else wants to, as they have a 21st ranked offense, an 18th ranked defense, and, well, still getting the job done. Baltimore comes in at number 9. Again, top 10 offense, defense struggling a little bit. A team that seems to be forward moving, though, in terms of the momentum. Cincinnati comes in at number 8. Top 10 unit on both sides of the ball, but struggled early in the year, seems to be calming down. Maybe just like the Rams, maybe that Super Bowl, hangover starting to wear off for them. We start getting into the New York teams now with the Jets coming in there, winning another ugly game, but hey, coming in at 7th on the power rankings because that's what they do. They win ugly games right now, and till they start losing them, you got to think they're legit for a little bit. Dallas Cowboys coming in at number 6. Dak Prescott back. Looked a little rusty. Offense looked a little better, I guess you could say. But that defense still legit. Dak can start getting it going with these receivers. Who knows where they can go. At number 5, you got the Kansas City Chiefs, buoyed by that number 1 offense, a bottom 10 defense. But the number 1 offense is getting things done, scoring 44 points. Even with a bad defense, 44 points is more than enough to win. Mahomes with Juju Smith-Schuster. I mean, Tyreek Hill lost to Miami has definitely made Miami a lot better, but I think it obviously hurts the Kansas City Chiefs offense, but they're doing quite fine without him, let's be honest. Minnesota comes in at number 4. Again, a team that wins with middle-of-the-pack offense, middle-of-the-pack defense, but you know what? Sometimes you just have to play good enough. Good for you, Kirk Cousins. Keep it rolling. Why not? At number 3, we have the Danny Dimes-led New York Giants. Middle-of-the-pack offense, good defense, good running game of Saquon Barkley. Big win against Jacksonville. Looked like they were struggling a little bit early. Come out and put up a great fourth quarter. Win the game. That's what matters. And then we have the battle of teams on the bye, but because teams were on the bye, it does lead to a change in the top of the power index. Yeah, that's right. The Buffalo Bills, because the New York Giants now pass them in terms of record, go ahead and fall to number 2. Oh, and it's close again. Like I said, these two teams are within like a point of each other, and they're 10 points above everybody else on the power index. But the Buffalo Bills, with the number 2 offense, number 1 defense, have fallen out of your top spot for the first time since I've been doing this, and they're here at number 2, which means the Steelers' next opponent, the cross-state rivals, Philadelphia Eagles, the undefeated team, only undefeated team in the league, finally get that number 1 spot, probably rightfully so with a number, ironically in terms of scoring, the number 4 offense and defense right now. Really good-looking team, has got it going. We'll see if Jalen Hurts can continue it for the full year. But Buffalo and Philly, ranking it out there. So let's go ahead. As you know, the Donk Nation Power Rankings is accumulation of the Power Index Top 10, Lasker's Top 10, and Gingy Top 10. If a team does not make the top 10 of one, but makes it to another, that means that the vote that didn't count always gives them just plus 12. And it's obviously 1 point for first, 2 points for second, down to 10 points for 10. So it's plus 12 if they aren't on the rankings for everybody else. So without further ado, let's start with Gingy's top 10. We'll start from bottom of the top. You have at 10 the Cincinnati Bengals, New York Jets, Tennessee Titans, Dallas Cowboys, Miami Dolphins up at 6. I respect that, Gingy, purely based off what they do with Tua. I am sure they are amazing with him. Minnesota at 5, Giants at 4, Kansas City at 3, Philly at 2, and Buffalo at 1. Let's go over to Laskers. We have the Chargers. The only team the Chargers made the vote on was this one at 10, Miami at 9, Tennessee at 8. Your Jets at 7, Cowboys at 6, Chiefs at 5, Vikings at 4, Buffalo all the way down to 3. I think Laskers has he lives in Buffalo and, well, not in Buffalo, but lives up towards Buffalo Nation, let's call it, Buffalo Bill fandom area. And has to put them below the Giants, I guess, and Philly. What you're seeing here is a lot of northern football teams, though, in all these top 10s. Yeah, we went over the Power Index top 10, so that means teams receiving votes this week that don't make the Donk Nation top 10 are your LA Chargers and Baltimore Ravens, getting 1 vote apiece. At the bottom of the list, we got Cincinnati coming in at number 10 in the Donk Nation Power Rankings. Miami Dolphins coming in at 9. Tennessee Titans coming in at 8. Your New York Jets down there at 7. Your Dallas Cowboys coming in at 6. And then a tie in the point ranking, but Minnesota falls to 5th because the higher ranked team on any list was the Kansas City Chiefs, who come in at 4. Your New York Giants coming in at 3. Your Buffalo Bills at 2. And your Philadelphia Eagles at 1. That's the Donk Nation Power Rankings. That's the Donk Nation Power Index. That's Lasker's top 10, Gingy's top 10. Let us know what you think. Let us know what your top 10 is. If you give us a top 10 in the comments, we might just add the Donk Nation community top 10 into the Donk Nation Power Rankings. But let us know if you like the show. I am the Viking Donkey. That's Viking_Donkey on Twitch and Twitter. Your daily dose of Donkey with Ginger is where you can catch all the great content. You got the Bugga Cap going on. You got the Donk Nation Power Ranking. And don't forget, later this week, we have Steelers Talk to break down Ginger's and Lasker's take of last game and the Philadelphia Eagles upcoming game for the Steelers. Make sure you tune in. There's going to be a lot of good stuff. I guarantee it. I hope you all enjoyed the show. We have a lot of fun here putting it all out there for you and letting you see what's going on. Donk Nation, Steeler Nation, it's that time. Wave them if you got them. Here we go.